Yeah. Velvet in the building, baby. So clean, make the bank start blushing. Monday cracking, better tighten them laces. Velvet Kohrs splashing big green in they faces. Wake your brokers up, put a leash on your basics. He popping off charts like rockets in spaces. Click, clack, stack them like bricks in the basement. Y'all paper hands folding like laundry in cases. I'm silk with the stock slip, ghosting your placements. You buy, hit denial like your girl on my bracelet. Ticker tape rain and I'm skating, I'm gracious. Velvet walk in, even Wall Street's anxious. Mad green growing like mold in your basements. But mine's so pretty, it can model in bracelets. What you know about that? Woo! I'm that velvet villain with the platinum schemes. Turn your blue chips into wet dreams. Get your life right, put it on my beams. Better pray when you play in the Kohrs regime. Velvet Kohrs, dripping on the NASDAQ floors. Velvet Kohrs, pockets fatter than galactic wars. Whip so slick, leave a trail on the pavement. Hunters like grenades, I be lobbing replacements. Making bank bends like Neo in the Matrix. While y'all clapping losses like some sad ovations. I don't chase, I summon the bacon. Y'all tweet dreams, I'm luxury laden. She said, Daddy Velvet, how you draped in amazement? Told her, baby, it's the wrist flick and patience. Flip a penny stock to a yacht vacation. Y'all stuck in debt like bad relations. I'm a raging bull while you fragile creations. Cross Velvet once, that's your final equation. Slicker than grease on a lawyer's teeth. Roll dice loaded under velvet sheets. Out trade the devil, out sin the priest. Velvet Kohrs, baby, I feast in. Velvet Kohrs, dripping on the NASDAQ floors. Velvet Kohrs, making green babies by the fours. Yeah. Ladies, lean close. Y'all ready for Daddy Velvet to make this green, baby? Stacking so high, make your heels look lazy. Sip that champagne while the cash drip daily. Hop in my ride, let's get wavy and brazy. Portfolio nasty like my thoughts get shady. Dress you in dividends, call you first lady. Daddy Velvet got the Midas touch, baby. Gonna cash you out till your vision get hazy. Velvet Kohrs, dripping on the NASDAQ floors. Velvet Kohrs, pockets fatter than galactic wars. Velvet Kohrs, sliding through your broker's doors. Velvet Kohrs, we're making gravies by the force. Yeah, if you ain't riding with the Kohrs, you ain't riding at all, baby. Stock Daddy out, mic drop.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Matt Kohrs Show, where I'm Matt, you're Kohrs, and together we might just have a little bit of a show today. Folks, I'm very excited. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday, happy June the 4th. I'm kind of excited for today's action. I really, really am. Not only do we have some fun news to get into in terms of what's going on with this trade war, tariff war, drug war, whatever you want to call it. We have billionaire drama between the world's most rich man and the world's most powerful man, Trump and Elon. We have some individual equity news. We have some breaking market news, the ADP job report that just dropped the market a little bit, but overall the bulls are still very much in control. We have a lot to get into. We have a lot to chit chat about. I'm very excited for today because there is a reasonable chance, not a guarantee, there's a reasonable chance that we are talking about the SPX, the S&P 500, battling it out at 6,000 today. That is 6, followed by 3 different zeros. We might be clocking that today as long as the bulls can represent as much strength as they have been over the past couple trading days and also to this morning, really. So very, very excited. Very, very excited to see what in the world is going to be going on. So we have a lot to be breaking down between the news, individual updates, the options, and I don't know. We have a lot to chit chat about this morning. So without further ado, if you guys could very quickly help me out. If you are here early this morning, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the fact that you guys are up before the sun. We're here at the crack of dawn, just trying to see what type of degeneracy we can get into today. So obviously, thank you very much. And if it's not too much of an imposition, I would love if you guys could all smash the like button on both Rumble and YouTube. It really does help me out. The higher the engagement, which is 100% free, it just promotes this show, this link, this channel to other people, which allows us to do even more and more degeneracy. So if you guys haven't already, I would truly appreciate that. Smash the like button, say hello in chat, all those types of engagement, subbing, turning on your notification, all of it really, really, really does help out. So thank you for all of that, and let's get rocking. First, shout out to Take Profit Trader. They're once again the partner of today's show. Use that code GOONIE, GOONIE, to get 30% off and never have to pay an activation fee. We've been trading on them for the past couple days. Obviously, we're going to be trading with them today. I do have 10 different TPT accounts. Right now, this is the best financial offer. So if you are looking to get a brand new eval today, out of all the different brokerages that these prop firm brokerages that I trust, this is currently the best financial deal. So pinned to the top of chat, in the description of the video, and don't forget to apply that code GOONIE. And when I say don't forget to apply, you don't just type it in. You actually literally have to hit the apply button. So I just want to remind you of that. And let's take a look at the market. Stock futures rise slightly as NVIDIA tech trade march on. I have a feeling if we reload this, that the intern updated it. S&P 500 futures give up gain after weak ADP jobs report raises worries about the economy. So that came out. It's kind of weird when this report comes out. It came out at 8:15, and it's the weakest we've seen since February of multiple years ago. Once again, it came out at 8:15, and that's exactly this drop right here on the SPY, on the Qs, even somewhat on Bitcoin. You kind of saw it in the small cap sector, but across the board at 8:15, the market did not like the report. So yeah, we dropped, but not that much. We pretty much just dropped to the closing value of yesterday. So we had nice, really pre-market gains, and then that's just what we gave back, and we're settling at the equilibrium of market close yesterday. So of course, I'll be getting into what these numbers are or aren't, but let me do a better job of painting a picture. Right now, we're still in this situation where headlines are going to be driving what in the hell is going on in the short term. Trump says China's Xi is extremely hard to make a deal with. So Trump with some interesting True Social updates not too long ago, actually, in fact, 2:17 in the morning, which is arguably the most strange thing about this. I like President Xi of China, always have and always will, but he is a very tough and extremely hard to make a deal with. I still, like, there's really nothing going on in that. Like, he's just saying that he likes them and he's tough to make a deal with. I don't know. The whole thing's strange to me. The fact that it was a 2:17 in the morning update. Does the guy sleep? But anyway, right now we are waiting for any update related to the current trade situation with China. Trump says China's Xi is extremely hard to make a deal with. Here's Bloomberg breakdown on it.
Trump wants to talk at the very highest levels. That's not always how the Chinese want to do business, and I'd be curious to see if they're able to make any headway. Trump doesn't want to go through the back channels. He doesn't want to go through the ordinary course of business. That's never been his style as a leader, being
this
in
was
business
a
or in his
Nomura
first
event.
term in office. He wants to talk to the principal. He wants to talk to President Xi himself. So we'll be curious to see if the conversations that the White House has telegraphed actually do take place.
All right, so you kind of get the idea. A little bit almost as like a cultural divide, if you will, of why we're running into a bit of headway. But that was one update as of early this morning. Once again, 2 in the morning. And oddly enough, that actually led to some bullish action in the pre-market trading session. Trump's True Social takes step toward launching Bitcoin ETF with NYSE ARCA filing, just because we're here talking about True Social. And Trump, I should let you know that they are very much leaning into this crypto side of things rather than a social media platform. I think the competition between True Social and Twitter/X is just literally too high. So for True Social to potentially make any business headway, obviously it would have to pivot, and it looks like the pivot is very much into the world of crypto. So be on the lookout for that, and most likely other things related to the world of crypto. All right, back to the tariff situation. Trump's 50% steel tariffs hit the world, but the UK spared the full blow. So as of midnight and 1 minute, as of 12:01, while we were all fast asleep dreaming of the charts, these tariffs did go into place against the EU. Steel and aluminum exports to the U.S. faced a 50% tariff today. As of 1 minute past midnight, they were 25%, getting increased to 50%. Steel producers in Europe, including major exporters in Germany and Sweden, now face a big hit from the increased duties. The UK faces a 25% levy in place, while the details of the US-UK trade deal are being worked out. So once again, the UK somewhat sidestepping it because they've already come to the table. And really, it was so easy for the UK because not only is our trade nominally smaller with them, but we also didn't have an imbalance to begin with. So that's why this deal was struck so early. Trump stated that the steel tariffs ordered Tuesday that the UK warranted different treatment, once again, just because of the trade situation. So I feel like this show is just going to be one situation after another, because the other situation we have to talk about, which was the crux of what we had in the update video yesterday. Shout out to everyone who watched that. Elon Musk calls Trump megabill a disgusting abomination. Billionaire sides with GOP critics who say measure doesn't cut spending enough. So if you were to go to Elon's Twitter, and I had the exact tweets up yesterday, it was actually a series of them that he had, and basically said, hey man, I can no longer hold my tongue on this. Man, this guy really does use his own platform quite a bit. How often is this guy popping off? All right here. I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. And then he did have pretty much right after that one quick follow-up. Where are we? He just keeps right here. It will massively increase the already gigantic budget deficit of 2.5 trillion with a T and burden American citizens with crushingly unsustainable debt. And then I believe he had one more in all of this, but it seems like the honeymoon period between Trump and Musk are over. It seems like they are no longer each other's BFFs. Their friendship bracelets might be getting cut off. Who knows? They might even be getting a bit of a divorce. You never know. And like I said, this was the main focal point of what we were chit-chatting about in the update video yesterday. To no one's surprise, when this happened, it was midday. That's exactly when Tesla started to dump, and it was around 115, 130. Tesla went from 354 all the way down to 344, and that's actually where we're at in pre-market trading right now. So the market getting a little bit scared, and I guess rightfully so. You never know if all of a sudden certain tax credit deals or certain levies or like, I don't think that Trump is necessarily known just to be like forgiving, and like, I don't know, if anything, I think his ego is like pretty notable. So when you have the world's most rich man saying it's a disgusting abomination, as of right now, Trump has not clapped back. We have not heard his commentary. They did ask it at the White House press conference yesterday. The White House press secretary basically just said, nope, Trump still loves the big, beautiful bill. I kind of wanted to come to you guys with this anyway. I don't believe anything the media says. Well, this isn't the media. This is directly from Musk's own Twitter account. This isn't a media thing. This is literally his own commentary. I guess I want to get your thoughts on it. Are you guys right now team Trump, or are you team Musk? Are you team both? Are you team neither? Because this was very much seemingly a bromance of, hey, the world's most powerful man, the world's most wealthy man, they are best buddies. They're going to be working together to make the world better. And it seems as if all these efforts by DOGE, the Department of Government Agency, to cut some of the unnecessary costs, well, it seems like it's pissing Elon off, because whether that effort was fruitful or not, if we're about to just balloon our own spending and our own deficit and our own debt, it's kind of like, well, what was the point in general? Like, that's just absolutely huge. That's it's massive. Team America, Team Tesla, Team Musk. I'm Team Peasant. I'm Team both. Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Okay, so obviously over here on the Rumble side, I know that there's a lot more Trump supporters. Are you guys still have you read this bill? Have you read the spending that's going on? I understand that you can still like generically someone's platform, but not an individual thing they are doing. And I guess my question is, are you still in support of this big, beautiful bill? Like, how many people even know what's going on in this big, beautiful bill? I feel like there's a lot of people who generically like it because they like Trump, and there's people who generically hate it because they hate Trump without even knowing any of the details of the bill. But what's confusing to me is I think most people who would look into this big, beautiful bill would say that's a misnomer because it's kind of an atrocious bill. I believe, and this is just my own opinion here, I think even the most like hardcore Trump supporting people, if they actually read the spending going on in this bill, they would say, hey man, that is not what we voted for. That is not what we wanted to keep going. And that's why I'm a little bit confused. I suppose I shouldn't be confused, though, because most people run their life by just reading the headlines and moving on. They're like, I like Trump. It's a big, beautiful bill. It's got my vote. When in reality, there's another half of people who are saying it's by Trump, so I absolutely hate it. And there's a high percentage of the time I'd be willing to bet that neither of those sides that have such hardcore opinions have even read what's going on in the bill. And I think that's really the concerning thing is people really, really do come up with these hardcore opinions and then they don't know what's going on. But on this particular issue, even if you are the most supportive Trump person ever, I think if you read into what's going on here, you would most likely not be that happy. But don't you worry, the drama did not stop there. So that was pretty much from last night till 2 a.m. this morning. And then you can see here at 8:15, we got the ADP non-farm employment change for the month of May. They expected 111,000. We only got 37,000. That was a massive miss. It's the biggest miss we've had in many moon, and that's exactly why the market dropped at 8:15. But don't you worry, there's a lot of other stuff going on today that might cause the market to drop more, or might cause it to pop. We get the services PMI at 9:45, and then we got the non-manufacturing PMI and prices at 10 a.m. today. So we have more data drops, obviously, to be paying attention to. But in the light of this ADP non-farm employment change number, check this out. Donald Trump, once again, firing up his Truth Social messages. ADP number out. Too late, pal. Must now lower the rate. He is unbelievable. Europe has lowered it 9 times. That's an interesting thing because that wouldn't really do too much. I think right here, I find the number concerning. I also find inflation concerning. I guess there's a lot of things in the monetary economic backdrop that I find concerning in one way or the other. But to directly try to tie together the ADP number with what the Fed fund rate is, it's just not necessarily good math, folks. So that one is a little bit of a stretch, but we're going to see how things are going on. I mean, inflation is still very much there, as much as certain people want to say it is or it isn't. Inflation is in our life. It's not as bad as it was, but the metaphor I always use is we were driving in the wrong direction at way too fast of a speed. We're still driving in the wrong direction, just at less of a speed. And right now with the Fed and the uncertainty of these tariffs and what are the trade deals going to be or not going to be, I get it. The administration wants to take control of the yield curve. But in reality, when you're deglobalizing, which is clearly going to be either the intention or the side effect of the administration's actions, we're going back up, folks. I mean, yields are most likely going to settle at a high price. I don't think in the short term, I'm talking maybe on a multi-year time frame, I bet the 10 years actually going up to 6%. And I wouldn't be surprised if we actually settle there. Our deficit is just too bad. And then when you start to really dive into it and you look at Japan, which is an important player here because they own so many U.S. treasuries, well, they're on tilt. Their yields are going up even worse as their bonds are completely plummeting. The situation is very, very, very complex. So to just say that, we can magically fix this by cutting Fed fund rates, I wish it were that simple. Unfortunately, it's just truly not. Don't forget, we're kind of done with earnings season, but there are important ones. CrowdStrike came out yesterday after the market closed. Not so good. CrowdStrike shares drop on weak revenue guidance, so you might care about that. But I think the one really people in here should care about is Broadcom, coming out after the market closes tomorrow. We're also hearing from DocuSign and Lululemon, but Broadcom is a top 10 stock in the world. It's the second biggest semiconductor stock below NVIDIA. NVIDIA is actually now the biggest stock in the world, and then Microsoft. and then Apple, and then I think Google, and then Amazon, I believe is how you round out the top 5. But a little bit after that, around number 8, you're going to see Broadcom, AVGO, big semiconductor play. Doesn't get as much love as it should. I think we should all be paying attention to it because it just hit a new all-time high, and it looks like it's gapping up to another new all-time high. So obviously, if they have a good earnings, this might put even more gas on the fire and keep this thing going. Or if they miss and we get some concerning numbers, which obviously is possible, it's going to be a 50-50 flip of the coin. The new high might be there to stay for a while, and we might revert off of that. But speaking of semiconductors, NVIDIA tops Microsoft, regains most valuable company title for the first time since January. So for the longest time, even for a majority of my content career, Apple has just been always the number one. Once in a while, there was a switch up with Microsoft, but because of NVIDIA's insane performance over the past couple of years, it really is a battle among those three. So for the longest time was Apple. Well, really, even before that, for the longest time, it was Microsoft. Then Apple grew and grew and grew, and then that was really the heavyweight champion for quite a while. Once in a while, if Microsoft had something good going on and Apple not so much, they would flip. But over the past couple of years, as I alluded to, NVIDIA's performance, absolutely phenomenal. And that's just kind of really where we are at, NVIDIA crushing it. So it'll be interesting to see if this continues. But right now, the semiconductor industry is absolutely crushing, but it's not the only industry crushing. So is the Goonie trading industry. Yesterday, my premium selling trade made about $2,000, which for those of you at home would have paid for more than 3 years of the service. Your first month is free anyway. But once again, a one-day trade making me $2,000. Piper fired off, which gives me a bias on the day, and then I kind of tweak it a little bit. A put credit spread, which is basically an overbet on the SPY and the Qs. That hit the minimum cost to engage in this was $348. It returned 100% of the premium, which was $52. I decided to execute it on SPX instead. And as you can see, I made $2,000 right there. And your first month is free, so feel free to check that out. Do not forget to apply the promo code Goonie. If you do not apply the promo code Goonie, your first month's not going to be free. Obviously, you have to put that in. And if you don't, then you're going to reach out to me and complain and be like, I don't know, it didn't work. And I'll be like, well, this is a pain. Maybe we can figure it out. Maybe we can't. But anyway, it's just far easier if you apply it properly off the get-go. And if you sign up and become a supporter and check out the Discord, if you like it, great, stick around. If it's not for you, well, congrats, you still get access to the newsletter for free anyway, even if you don't want to be a supporter. Every single Sunday, I send this out. I break down what's going on in the market, all of the earnings. I highlight the ones I think you're going to care about. And then I give you a little cheat sheet of all the major macroeconomic events. So today, 8:15, we already got that. That dropped the market. 9:45, we're waiting for that report. And then at 10 a.m., we also have some reports, some data drops coming out. With respect to seasonality, today slightly favors, it's bearish to neutral. Yes, there are some years where it's a nice upswing. Some years it's a downswing. The net situation has been slightly more bearish than bullish. But overall, it's really, I mean, obviously, I kept telling everyone Tuesday, yesterday was absurdly bullish. Today's a bit neutral, but then to round out the week, Thursday and Friday, once again, going back to favoring the bulls. So I just kind of wanted to let you guys know where we're at with respect to seasonality. And now let me show you what's going on in the market before that bell goes dingity ding, ding, ding. As I always do, every single morning, I get up even before the break of dawn to map out all the key levels. So I look at the technicals, I look at the structure, and I also look at the option levels. So as always, the green, the red, and the white horizontal lines are the previous trading session, as in yesterday's high, low, and close. Those are important technical and psychological levels. The next thing you're going to see is this white box, which on a 0 DTE options perspective is the transition zone for both the gamma and the delta. Two very important Greek levels, and that gives us an idea of how we are going to see the market makers react. As you can see, we have two different boxes today. It just so happens that the gamma and the delta levels aren't perfectly overlapping. They're overlapping a good amount, but one of them's a bit lower, one of them's a bit higher. So overall, this white zone is more of that choppy zone. Above it, the bulls are in control because the market makers are going to be supportive to a push higher. Below it, the bears are in control because the market makers are going to be supportive for an additional sell-off. And within it, the market makers just don't really care that much. They're going to be pretty well hedged. Well, they're going to be well hedged all the time. But in terms of the influence of pushing higher or lower, market makers just won't care that much. So overall, that's the transition zone. And then the final thing are just these yellow horizontal lines, which as of this morning, as of 20 minutes ago, as of 45 minutes ago, are the major open interest levels, as in where we're expecting a lot of people to react, because those are the strikes that they have, whether it's going from out of the money to in the money to out of the money. All you really need to know is that's where a lot of people are actively playing. So right now in pre-market trading, we're around 5979. So we are roughly, we're actually set to be opening up on top of the transition zone, which means we are set to be opening up with the bulls in control if this holds for the next about 6 minutes. So what I'd be looking for is for initial support to be found somewhere between 5970, 5975 in here. I'm looking for support in this initial breakout of yesterday's high at 5981. And then from there, we're just looking for that test of 6,000. It's a massive open interest level. It is a massive psychological level. It is a massive technical level. This is a battle. By no means would I be expecting this to break out on the first attempt. I would be expecting a large battle to play out there for quite some time. Then if the bulls do reign supreme, the next interesting level is 6,030, where between yesterday and today, someone sold a bunch of calls, as in they're putting in a ceiling. So I'm expecting a big battle at 6,000, and then my reach target on the day would be 6,030. That just is where the options market is setting up. Now, on the flip side, if we fail in here, if we fail like right out of market open, something like that, yeah, we might get caught up in this transition zone. There is an interesting level at 5950, just it's a psychological level. It is an open interest level. And then from there, if that breaks down, I'd be targeting somewhere between 5925 and 5935, somewhere within the zone of yesterday's low. So that would be my bear case. But on a personal note, I am not looking to play the bear case whatsoever, because every single empirical measure I have of the market right now is saying that the bulls are in control. So I'm not saying I'm against the bear case. I'm just saying that I would have to be like, it would have to be proven to me that the bulls lost control. And in reality, they are nowhere close to losing control. So I think, even though I see it all the time, I mean, some of these really popular, whatever, content creators, traders, this, that, the other thing, they're telling you to be bearish, and they're always looking for an opportunity to be bearish, and they're saying that the market's going up too far and we have to pull back. Yeah, maybe, but I don't know what to tell you. The money's been made on the bull side. All the data measures are suggesting the bulls are in control. They're going to do their stupid fucking candle analysis and saying we have to revert, while people like us, hey, remember, folks, we are simpletons. In here, we are trying to not overcomplicate it. Remember, we're all a little bit tarded. We are just trying to do the simple thing of what is the flow, what is the bias, and can we catch that? We in here are trying to not overcomplicate it with this candle and that candle and this gap and blah, 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 blah. Just tell me which way the big money's going and tell me where they are specifically positioned, and I want to see if I could ride that. I want to see if I could ride that. We don't need to do anything so crazy as all these other cuckoo loco birds out there. So these are my key levels. Feel free to screenshot it. Feel free to write them down. Do whatever you want. As of right now in pre-market trading, the 5-minute is neutral. The 10-minute is neutral. 30-minute and 4-hour are bullish on the ES. 5-minute is neutral. 10-minute is neutral. 30-minute and 4-hour are bullish on the NQ. So starting off the day from a momentum standpoint, we are neutral, leaning bullish, neutral on the smallest time frames because of that 8:15 drop, but bullish on more of the medium time frames, the 30 and the 4-hour, on both the S&P 500 and also on the NASDAQ. I have this up just because I know our boy Rick Santelli is going to be speaking at 9:45, and also, what is this? I'm getting some alerts already early this morning. Our boy Rick Santelli will be speaking at 9:45 and also 10 a.m. And other than that, I'm seeing a little bit of bullishness here, a little bit of bullishness there. All right, let me drop this to the 1 minute. Let me get this all ready. All right, let's zoom in. I would tell you that I'm going to be calm, cool, and collected and wait for all these data drops to come out. But in reality, that is not true because I am already in a position on all 30 of my accounts. I have 10 take profits, 5 evals, 5 funded, and then I have 20 funded Apex. So I'm already long on literally 30 accounts, which means I'm up actually decent chunk. I'm already up 3K, up a couple points. We recaptured VWAP. Basically, when I saw this vomit, I just went long on this second pop here around 9 or 840. I was like, okay, this is a little dramatic. I know the bulls are in control. I went long there, knowing that my risk was this recent low, like nothing bad. So generally, I tell you guys, hey, I'm going to wait. But in reality, I've been in a trade for almost an hour. So we're going to see if I could get lucky with a market open pop and rip to a new high, and that would be beautiful if possible. Of course, I also might get absurdly unlucky and the market might just vomit at open. So we're gonna see how this goes. But my max goal on the day is 1,500, maybe 1,200, something like that. I don't quite know. We'll find out. But I know I don't want to go more than that, which actually leads me to believe I need to move this down a little bit. Yeah, right about there. Right about there. All right, that's my max target. Not necessarily what I'm going for. I just know I can't go for anything above that. So just want to let you know, I'm already in a position, breaking my own rules. Generally, I don't trade in pre-market, but I just figured when I saw the ADP report, I really thought that was a clear overreaction. And thus far, that guess was right. But we're going to be finding out if I'm just lucky. Matthew, will you explain the consistency rule today? I know you probably forgot yesterday. No, just go watch the video. It's already up. I've already explained it a gazillion times. No sense in repeating. I mean, if you're like legitimately having confusion, I could try to explain it, but I don't think it's that complicated. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right, we are off to the races. We are here in minute one. Minute one. And what do I want to see today? What do I want to see today? Well, la-ti-da. Well, la-ti-da. Whoa, Broadcom catching a bid out of the gate. All right. Like I said, I'm doing some degenerate stuff. I'm feeling lucky today. You know, I feel as if things are going to align in my favor. I feel as if maybe God will shine upon me today with these trades. So I'm breaking all the trading rules and I'm just ripping it. I am just ripping it. Okay. Well, that is pending. Where is the Discord, folks? Done. Okay, we did that. All right, if you're in the Discord, I already posted one of my trades for the day. I could explain it later of why I'm being so aggressive when I join up, but then I also do have one more thing I wanted to add here. This was a play that I missed yesterday that I very much want a chunk of. All right, where are you guys in the Discord? Discord. Where are you? All right. If you're in the Discord, I just posted there. All right. Well, that's all well, how's this position? Should I just go to break even now? I mean, I'm up almost 400. For a second there, I was actually up almost 500. Maybe I just move, maybe I just take the freebie play. And if I can catch a run, I could catch a run. It doesn't really feel like there's much of a point to taking any risk at this point, except for those data reports. Well, but the data reports might completely destroy it. All right, I'm moving my stop into break even, or right above break even. So worst case scenario is nothing. Worst case scenario is I make, I don't know, like $12. So taking literally all risk off the table, which I would obviously prefer to trade that way. So no more risk for me. Did I take on a little bit of a degenerate bet this morning? Yeah, I did. I got in way too early. But guess what? Guess freaking what? It worked out. I don't know what to tell you. I managed my risk. It's looking good. Tesla's getting fucking destroyed right now. That's not so good. Tesla, even MSTR is down. Meta's in the green. Dude, Tesla and these like Elon comments and his fight with Trump, it's really screwing over my call positions on Tesla right now. Not the most happy about it. I should probably get the fuck out of that position. Where are we at? Tesla. I mean, it's just legit not looking good right now. It's just not looking good. Here, I'll put an alert at 40. We'll see how that plays out. Fucking Tesla, dude. all this government political fighting. It's gonna make my hair go gray. I can tell you that. But Broadcom is keeping things alive. How is this looking? All right, the account's looking good today. So even getting rocked by Tesla, the swing account is up a nice $18,000 this morning. As you can see, my Broadcom position is disgusting. I'm up 178%. I'm up 32,000 on it. If you need real-time proof of why you should be in the Discord, well, right here, because as a group, we're working to find these types of opportunities to make a disgusting amount of money. For my first job, this is pretty much what I used to make in an entire year. That's disgusting. Matt, what do you think about investing in GME in the short term? Well, that doesn't make sense. Investing by definition is not short term. That's like saying jumbo shrimp. That's like saying military intelligence. It's an oxymoron. You don't invest in something in the short term. So I don't even, if you're investing, you're talking about like a multi-year horizon for the fundamentals to play out. All right. We did get that breakout of yesterday's high. It's just 6,000. I know we have a report coming out in 10 minutes. I would actually love this if we could just rip up to here before any report. I could take my money on the day and just be done. I would love to get like bada bing, bada boom, get my money and just move on with my life. That would be phenomenal. We have a little bit of selling now. We have a little bit of selling right now. So out of the gate, the SPY Delta was pretty good for the first 4 minutes. The Mag 7 was also pretty good for the first 4 minutes. Let's see if the party can keep going. In terms of my active trade, like I said, I moved my stop all the way already up to above break even. I'm actually targeting this low at 926, so I'm pretty good. Right now, obviously, I have no realized gain or loss on all 30 of the accounts. Well, here's the commission fees. But anyway, I'm trading the 20 Apex, I'm trading the 10 take profits, and they're all up about 600 a pop right now. Once again, this is my first trade of the day, and this is really the max that I can go for is all the way up here. But I'm trading on ES, which is the S&P 500. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm liking this pop. And what I'm really liking is the account. Ooh, 26K. What a day. What a day to be me. We're back above 400. Can he do it? Can he do it? Year to date, currently up 344% year to date on the account. I'm up about three bands, 300 bands, if you will. But really I would be up so much better if I didn't get fucking destroyed by Tesla. Do I just cut these stupid ass losers or do I just wait? Oh, Tesla's pissing me off. Why did Elon have to start fighting with Trump? We had such an opportunity. Oh, he fucked me on that one. I'm taking it as a personal slight. I really am. I really, really am. Hey, folks, now that we're rocking today and we are waiting for that 9:45 report, I know a lot of you were late to class. I'm not even mad at you guys today. If you guys could all take one quick second out of your day to smash that like button on both Rumble and on YouTube, it very much does help out. Both of these social media platforms that run my life, they promote the video and the channel more, the more people that engage. So whether it's me or whoever your other content creators are that you consume what they're putting out, it is super, super beneficial to comment, to like, to subscribe, to turn on your notifications. All that stuff is massively helpful. So I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. It is free to you, helps me out a ton. So thank you. Thank you. And hopefully those good vibes get this market really rocking. The people with the crowns are made at you. I don't know why you would be made at me, but okay. I've been called worse. All right. What are we doing? All right. I'm not seeing any updates there. Mag 7 options are taking off. SPY options did take off, but going flat ever since 936. So nice upward trend, now flat. Let's just keep seeing how this is going to go. Where did my thing go? Right here. Okay, here. You guys know my levels. 6,000 is going to be a huge test. We're at 5,988. Honestly, if you're playing short-term stuff, this is, if I were trading your account, if I had a 0 DTE call expiring today, I'd be taking my profits there. I wouldn't withstand the battle. If anything, I would lock in my profits on the very first test. And then if there is a pullback that I think is going to keep going, I would get into a different position. I wouldn't hold one short-term YOLO out of the money call. I wouldn't hold through the test and then the rejection. I would lock in, wait for the rejection, which isn't guaranteed. Of course, it might just keep going, but I wouldn't hold through it because there's such a high odds of a rejection. So if anything, I would lock in as we're getting close, maybe 5,999, 998, maybe 6,000, 6,001, somewhere in here in this zone, I would be locking in. If there is a rejection, I would wait. If it starts to build back up, I would enter a new position, but I wouldn't hold the initial one just because of the vol crush, because of the theta decay. There are many mathematical reasons of why, if you have a short-term 0 DTE call and you are long that call, there are many mathematical reasons of why you wouldn't want to be holding through the rejection. It's just not good trading. It's not just good math. It's just the time is working against you. The vol's working against you, and fucking Tesla's working against me right now. God damn it, Tesla. God damn it, Tesla. Why are you doing this to me? Broadcom is a fucking, look at that. 38K. Dude, if this can keep going, this might be a 50K trade for your boy. This might be a 50K trade for your boy. Speaking of 50K trade, how are we looking over here? How are we looking over here? Oh, I feel like I should move my stop even more to like guarantee some of these gains. It at this point, when you're up this much, when you're up 600 on 30 accounts, where would I reasonably move it to that I'm not going to be pissed off? Maybe 90. So that would guarantee 7 points. That would guarantee 350 per account, which I'd be happy with that. If it runs, it runs. Worst case scenario, I make 350. 7 points. I am also looking at this one, but I'm also see, my concern here is, what if there's like just a fluke reaction to the 945 data, and like, knowing my luck, I get wicked out and then it rips anyway. Well, what if it doesn't wick though? What if it just keeps going? I guess you should always assume worst case scenario instead of best case scenario, and also not fluke fucking scenario. Do I want to move it higher? I'm thinking. Do I want to move it up? That's another 3 points. That's $150. That's a guaranteed 500 per account on 30 accounts. That's $15,000. I could guarantee myself $15,000. Oh, this is a tough one. How lucky are we feeling? How lucky? You know what? Don't you guys worry. I know exactly how to tell what I should be doing right now. We will be turning to the Cats Rule the Earth tarot card set. That's the only way we could definitively know the right answer here. It's the only way. It is the, like, why do this 50-50 guesswork when we can easily figure out the proper answer? Easily, you know? All right, hang on. I'm shuffling it up so we get a good level of magic in here. Let's see what this is. Let's see where the markets are going today. 3, 2, 1, stop. Put that on the bottom. Abracadabra, alakazam. Oh, market lords, in you we trust. We are nothing but your humble vessels. Oh, fuck yes, dude. That has to be good. So first of all, temperance, just a really regal looking cat. I'm seeing bright sun. I'm seeing golden chalices. It seems as if they are celebrating Pride Month with the rainbow flag in the background. I'm seeing 2 different color eyes. Oh shit. Uh-oh. The market, I'm getting some alerts right now. Wait, is that Tesla? Tesla's getting clocked. The alert is on Tesla. All right, we're going to have to look up temperance, but fucking Tesla, dude. Why is it such an asshole? How is this position looking? Oh, we're kind of getting close. Tesla. We're getting rid of that. Why can you guys not see? Okay, there you go. All right, so I need to look up temperance. We have so many things to do and so little time to do it. This is getting close. Basically, I can't really have this dip down much. All right, this is just stupid. It looks like it's coming for me. But I'm locking in 350, worst case scenario. Guaranteeing some money. How much time do I have left? We're running behind on time today. I have 20 seconds. All right. Where's our boy Rick? Santelli? Give us Rick.
Go-to. Yeah. King. After the short stories, there's Dickens, there's King, and then there's
Come
Jones.
on, please be good.
He is prolific.
Yes,
please be good.
Drones, right?
Oh, that was a great piece.
Please
Yeah,
be
little
good.
Ukraine. Of course, their $500 drones. Our
I'm not seeing a
$60,000
drop.
drones
The data
don't
should
really
be
cut it.
out.
Look, if we
It didn't
were
vomit.
really, I would send the
Joint
Chiefs of Staff. I think I would just send them over to Ukraine and tell us how to do it. I mean, this is remarkable. This is a dry run for World War III, if you really believe this can happen.
Yeah.
And they know how to do it.
It didn't
the
drop.
takeout of the bombers.
It didn't drop.
$500 drones.
Yep.
$7 billion.
Temperance.
for the
We
bombers
just needed a little temperance, whatever that
$5,000.
means.
Take it.
A lot of discussion about Ukraine actually having some cards. The envoy, our envoy to those talks, said that attack actually has raised some of the risk levels because it was so damaging to those bombers.
I think if Zelensky were
I'm
to
moving
come
my
back to the
stop
White
up,
House,
basically
ain't no
saying,
way
hey,
to
I
know
need this to
Trump.
hold.
Yeah.
He's got. Does the president pay bridge? I mean, look. I mean, he's got a full house. All right. What does he want? What do you have to have a four of a communist guy?
Yeah, that's getting all rolled into some of the European discussion. The last thing, Jim, I'll mention is some travel.
Come on.
Caesars is
Come on.
weak.
Where's our boy
Apollo
Rick?
With another chart of foreign arrivals
53.7 versus 53.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
Continues to fall.
And look, it's
All right,
Royal,
we'll take
it's
it.
Royal Caribbean.
We'll take it.
And
Where's
it's Marriott.
temperance?
Boy, that interview that you had with Marriott, that was so solid. That was a turnaround. You realize, wait a second.
Where's
this is the one.
temperance?
Booking Holdings, Marriott.
What do
Royal
these
Caribbean.
cards
It's a
mean?
trio
What
that
am I even
love.
doing with my
Yes.
net
Oh,
worth?
no, I think that those are going to survive.
You're not
this
going to find
downturn.
many other
And
people
this
betting their
momentary
net
downturn,
worth
I mean, I
on
think
tarot
that-
card sets.
Look, everyone's positioning themselves.
Temperance. Temperance comes between death and the devil in the tarot deck. Jesus, that's not good. And this card's harmonizing energy provides respite and calm from these strong and potentially life-changing forces. The imagery on this card of liquid pouring into an endless stream between two vessels signifies the unhindered flow of life energy, which is neither one extreme nor the other, but exists in a constant state of flux and equilibrium. This card advises you to be patient, to look for the middle ground, and to work with others for the benefit of all. It can show a mature attitude in which excesses are curbed and extremes of emotion are tempered. When appearing with justice, we're not looking at it with anything else. So basically, I don't know. Teamwork. We just got to have a vibe today. We got to get properly plugged into the matrix is what I'm hearing.
And if we look at the composite, very similar from 52.1 mid-month to 53.0 May final. Also, second highest read of the year. Best since February. We have more ISM services to come up from the PMI perspective. At
Rick,
top of the hour,
temper
suffice it
this.
to say, the week ADP, weakest since March of 23, out earlier, pushed yields down to levels that they're currently trading at, down almost a half dozen basis points in a 10-year note. Squawk on the Street will return after a short break.
Dude, he always just tees it up so perfectly. He always tees it up so perfectly. All right, well, let's hope that this all holds. We don't quite need this at the moment. Folks, what are you watching? So I'm seeing Broadcom's ripping. I'm seeing Meta's ripping. I'm seeing NVIDIA, Apple, and Microsoft are all putting in good days. I'm seeing Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Palantir are all getting their clocks cleaned. And I'm actually seeing the small cap sector try to lead us a bit higher. So small cap looking a bit interesting as well. Look at Meta. I think I have a Meta position. I do have a Meta position that's up $23,000. I do. Your boy does have a Meta position. Well, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Up 34K today. We're making it. We're paying them bills. Your boy's not going to have to eat ramen tonight. Your boy's not going to have to eat ramen. I will still be crying in the shower, though. I don't want anyone worried about, like, oh, Matt made money. Like, I wonder if he's still going to cry in the shower. Yeah, no. As always, I'll be crying in the shower with a jug of sangria. It's just how I do it in the summer. It's my form of temperance. So don't you guys worry. Tell me you don't trust Cramer. Surely not. Do I trust him? I don't even know the dude. This is me being tempered. Dude, I'm so tempered today, I'm not even going to fight with the AMC or the Ripple or the dumb people in chat. That's how tempered I am today. I pulled the card, and if the card told me to fight and to be vicious, I would. But in fact, it told me to be tempered. So to all the Ripple, AMC, and generic dumb douchebags in here, I'm so tempered, it's not even going to faze me. I'm so freaking tempered, it's not even gonna, I'm just tempered. I'm in the middle. I am like a cat who is simultaneously a solid and a fluid. That would make sense if you guys had a cat. You would be like, yeah, no, they are simultaneously fluids and solids. That's the mode I'm in. I'm just going with the flow today. Your boy's just going with the flow. And I'm hoping that the flow is to the upside so I can make more money here. Let's go to the 5 minute. Okay, it's not looking so bad. Yeah, you could see I bought this dip early this morning, right around 8:40 is when I got in. And it was the right play. I like where my risk is at because that would mean that this consolidation is breaking down. So I don't mind that whatsoever. I like my risk, my target. I'm generally a trend following trader. It's really tough to do that with SIM defunded companies just because of their consistency rules and whatnot. So generally I would lit this ride as much as I possibly can. I wouldn't be like kneecapping myself at a certain level of gains. But in this particular event, because there is consistency rules, I had to do the reverse engineer the most money I can make to stay within the consistency rules, which is why I already have this up here. But what I care a lot more about is my risk management rather than my ultimate ceiling target. Of course, I would love for this to hit today because that means I would have back-to-back 1.5K gains per account, which would be awesome. But I think a lot of it is going to be dependent on this 10 a.m. announcement and if I just get lucky or not. You could see we popped and now we're range bound. We popped, we're range bound. Tech seems to be giving a bit more back. It is testing the high from yesterday. SPY, it might be clocking me right here. All right, whatever, it happens. I just made $450 and I made that on all 30 of my accounts, which is not a bad day. Not a bad day. $450 every account. Obviously, I have the opportunity to potentially get back in, but there is a little bit of weakness right now. And just in case this weakness becomes legit sustained weakness, well, luckily for me, I'm not involved. But that's one of the beautiful things about trading futures is there's no pattern day trading whatsoever. So I could trade a gazillion times. I could trade to my heart's desire. So if I see another opportunity post this 10 a.m. announcement, I might take advantage of it. But just in case, you never know if it's when something in the moment appears to be breaking down. You never know if it's a real breakdown or a fake out breakdown. Right here, okay, maybe it just keeps going and it vomits, i.e. a real breakdown. Or maybe it's a quick little wick, it stops everyone out, and then it goes. You don't know. You don't know until after, which for you as a trader makes it extraordinarily difficult to actually play then, just because you don't have the future information. You don't know where price is going to go. We would all be gazillionaires if we knew if breakouts were real or not, if we knew if breakdowns were real or not. So in a certain sense, you almost have to really behave in a manner that is just always respecting your risk, and you have to treat it as if it is real, just because in all the events that it's a fake out and you would have made money, the one time that it ends up becoming real, well, congrats, that's when you blow out your account. So it's just because of the distribution of how bad can be, and my eternal belief that you should always be focusing on the worst case scenario rather than the best case scenario, that you have to kind of treat them as if they are real. You really do have to treat them as if they are real. And I get that that's frustrating, especially if you're currently battling pattern day trading and you only have so many trades in the day. Like, I totally get that. But once again, that's why I'm actually a big fan of trading futures, just because there is no pattern day trading. There's no pattern day trading in crypto, Forex, or futures. There is pattern day trading in stocks and options. So if you are trading with an account that's below the pattern day trading limit, your options are basically either adhere to your day trades, trade on a cash account, or just trade an asset that is better for you. And because of that, that's why I'm personally a fan of trading futures. And that's exactly why my trade today, all this money that I've already made right here, all 30 accounts making $450, I traded that on the S&P 500 futures market, which is known as the ES contract. Another very popular one is the NQ contract, which is the futures market for the NASDAQ. I traded that the most. I'm pivoting a little bit back to trading ES just because it's a bit more calm, it's a bit more tame, but that's my personal preference. And as always, if you want to trade with someone else's money, right now the best financial deal for you guys is to get involved with Take Profit Trader. As of today, as of Wednesday, June 4th, this is the most financially reasonable offering to all of you. Use that code GOONIE, GOONIE, to not only get 30% off the eval, but then you'll never have to pay an activation fee. So no activation fee, 30% off the eval. Just make sure you're applying that code GOONIE. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. And obviously, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I have 10 of those accounts right here. Take Profit. I have 5 evals. I have 5 of the funded ones. So basically, I'm trying to get the funded ones across the finish line to make the evals across the finish line so I could upgrade them to funded. And then the funded ones that I already have right here, I'm just trading as ideally as well as I can to actually make money off of them. So that is where I am at, and I think you guys should give it a little looky-see. Maybe it is appropriate for you. I do SPX options on a cash account. I don't really like trading on a cash account. I think the way to do it is to trade a margin account, and if your account isn't big enough quite yet, I would say trade something like trade a different asset that doesn't have pattern day trading. I think trading on a non-margin account below $25,000 in the US is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. It is an extraordinarily difficult thing to do. So I think you are better off trading a different asset like crypto or futures, or maybe you just become a swing trader. Maybe you're not a day trader. I could see the argument there, but to attempt to day trade options on a cash account or a margin account below it, it's just really difficult. Really difficult. Obviously, if you find a way that is net profitable for you and you're crushing it, keep at it. Don't let me be the person who stops you. I just find that most people who end up doing that are not profitable traders. But hey, if you're like, no, I am net profitable over whatever period of time, we'll keep it rocking then. I think a cash account is fine for options, not for stocks. Well, I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but there's the only people who are using cash accounts are people who are below 25,000. If you're above 25,000, there's no reason you wouldn't be on a margin account here in the US. And I'm being specific there. Obviously, a lot of the regulations that apply here in the US is very different. So the only time you would possibly consider a cash account is if you're below 25,000. And at that point, you're kind of kneecapping yourself, because pattern day trading, it really does make your trading career that much more difficult. It makes it extraordinarily difficult. So I think you have better, I believe you have better things at your disposal that you could use rather than just praying you can make pattern day trading work or your cash account work or stuff like that. It just makes it very difficult. Very difficult. Most people who are stuck in a cash account for a long time or not profitable, so go use something that makes trading feasibly easier or better for you. I mean, we've all been there before, where we have to consider how many day trades we have left. So you end up taking on more risk, or you don't close out a trade when you know you should be closing it out. I think it really does screw with your mentality. I actually think pattern day trading is one of the most silly, backwards, archaic rules that we currently have in the US trading regulation scheme. Especially when there's other assets you could trade without it. It's so stupid. Why do we have pattern day trading in the US for stocks and options, but not futures and crypto and Forex? Imagine if we had laws that like every time you went into a casino, you could only bet 3 times every rolling 5 days, and that was like the rule that like they put on casinos, it makes no sense to me. It literally makes absolutely no sense. Oh, we're getting into a weird situation where my system is going to fire a long entry, but it might be happening before this announcement. What do I do? What do I do? Do I take the signal if it even fires before? I'm looking at it right now. It's getting real close to firing a signal here. Real close. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Do I take the signal or do I skip this one? Do I take this signal or do I skip this one? Oh. The signal hasn't fired yet, but it's getting dangerously close. Dangerously close to taking another bullish position. The announcement is scheduled to come out in 20 seconds. Dangerously close. Well, never mind. I am extraordinarily happy it didn't, because we just had a big drop on that data. Give us Rick. What the fuck's going on? Give us Rick. Very, very, very happy I got stopped out where I did. Very happy the signal did not officially fire. The market is not reacting well to these the ISM non-manufacturing PMI and prices. Holy shit.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Squawk on the Street. I'm Sarah Eisen with Carl Quintanilla, live from Post 9 of the New York Stock Exchange. David Faber is off today. Take a look at stocks. We're going for 3 days in a row of gains here. S&P 500 up 0.1%. The Nasdaq's up a little more than that. Another positive day. It is being led again by technology and communication services. In particular, Meta's up 2%, Alphabet's up a little more than 0.5%. Healthcare is gaining today. So are materials as those steel tariffs kick in, and industrials. Financials a little bit down, and utilities, the worst performers, down 1%. As for treasuries this morning, we have some new jobs data to discuss going into big jobs day on Friday, and there's buying. So relative calm in the bond market. 10-year yield 4.4%. 2-year yield moves.
Is it an overreaction?
South. That's the one that's really sensitive to where interest rates go. 3.9%. We've got a big show coming your way. In just a moment, Bridgewater's Ray Dalio will join us with a new warning about America's ballooning deficit and how to avoid an economic crisis in this country. Plus, Senator Elizabeth Warren calling the Fed's decision to lift Wells Fargo's asset cap, quote, an outrageous giveaway to one of Wall Street's most derelict banks. She will be with us to discuss.
Derelict.
Meantime, you can see markets responding to ISM services. Let's get back to Rick Santelli. Hey, Rick.
Here's our boy.
Yes, boy, you're
Give it to us, Rick.
Move down again, and the issue is our May reads for ISM services PMIs, and here they are. 49.9. The headline was supposed to come in at 52, expansion territory, but instead it moves to contraction under 50. And the last time it was under 50 was June of last year, and that's when we comp to on this number. If you look at prices paid, the opposite. They're moving higher from 65.1 to 68.7. That's definitely warmer than we expected. That's the hottest prices paid since Nov of 22. But the market certainly seems to be more focused on weakness than the inflationary implications of prices paid. New orders, 46.4. Once again, back in contraction mode, and that's the weakest all the way back since D's of 22. And finally, on the employment front, and this is important because we had a weak ADP, and of course, Friday we have the big jobs report. This one climbed over 50, 50.7, the best since, well, just Feb of this year. But indeed, we retook expansion territory. Now, as we sit at 440, we're literally exactly down a half dozen basis points on a 10. Carl, back to you.
Carl.
Santelli, thank you very much.
Tech
Meantime,
has taken
some
a
new
bit
data
of
from
a
the New York
bigger
Fed
hit.
this morning. A survey of some 300 businesses found that for those facing tariff
everything
cost
dumped right
increases,
at that 10 a.m. report.
Most passed on at least some of that to their customers, with nearly a third of manufacturers, almost half of service firms fully passing along all tariff costs by raising prices. The others reported they were absorbing some of the cost hikes. Despite the uncertainty around the trade policy, businesses are reacting quickly. Over half of manufacturers and service firms said they raised prices within a month of experiencing those cost increases, many within
5
a
minute
day
and 10 minute
or a
potentially
week.
breaking down on the ES
something we'll
here.
keep an eye on. Again, this is, again, we talk about the shift between survey data and the hard data, but this is certainly one way respondents
sorry, on the NQ. Tech on a relative basis weaker.
Shows up in the headline inflation numbers
tech is maybe breaking down while the S&P 500 is attempting to hold.
Numbers. So that's where ADP comes in today. Private sector jobs read, and it was much weaker than expected. Only 37,000 jobs were added in the month.
Yeah, tech is dragging us down right now.
Weaker than expected, and a big step down, as you can see from April.
Yeah, tech is actually about to test going red.
2 years.
Tech is dragging everything down. Look at this Broadcom.
There's not a really direct correlation. Some people see it as a leading indicator, but it is worth paying attention to because
semis.
It gives us a
Apple's having a good day.
So
is
what companies
Microsoft.
are doing. And if you break that down further,
but semis
you can see
are
the
giving
job
back their
losses really
gains
came
from
in
yesterday.
the goods-producing sectors. That 2,000 negative on that. Where services-producing sectors were still gaining. That
tech
tells
is
you
just
it's
getting
about
hit
tariffs,
right now.
right? Because that's where the tariffs are. They're on goods-producing
Tech was looking
sectors.
good. Hating
it's no
that
wonder
report.
President Trump tweeted, ADP number out.
Hating
Too late,
that
Powell must
report.
lower the rate. He is unbelievable.
All right,
Europe
let's see if
has
some
lowered
buyers can step in
9
here.
times. If he's making the argument,
We
to
are
get
at a
ahead of the
potential
economic
support
weakness
zone,
and we're
the
not
top
seeing
of the
inflation,
transition here,
these
looking
numbers
for
give
this
him
bounce
further
off of
fuel, and so do the
75.
recent inflation numbers.
And also the
Small
NASDAQ is at its
firms with
green to
fewer than
red move,
50
so hopefully
employees
buyers
cutting
are
on a net
stepping in here.
basis. Peter
Time
Bookbar
will
with a
tell,
nice
though.
note.
This
Should we
is
really be
getting
surprised?
rocky.
Put yourself in the shoes of an employer. You can understand the hesitancy many
getting
business people
rocky,
have, especially
folks.
small businesses that don't have the flexibility of larger firms. But we don't seriously
Stop
believe that a
fucking
rate
vomiting.
cut now is going to mean anything for months.
All right, shut up. Yeah, everything was looking good until that second report. And it really is tech, and more specifically, it's semiconductors. Two of the biggest stocks, you have Apple and Microsoft looking actually fine. Apple and Microsoft, even Meta. Apple climbing up, Microsoft climbing up. Meta was climbing up, giving a bit back now. Tesla's been having a really bad day now that Elon is fighting with the president. MSTR, not so good. But the culprit here is semis were good until about 9:48. And, well, NVIDIA got hit. Yeah, SMH, the semiconductor industry, is just dragging tech down with it, which is now dragging the overall market with it. Son of a bitch, dude. Well, we are now officially in the transition zone. Officially in the transition zone. How bad is this going to get for tech? Maybe we're lucky. I mean, look, most of this volume, a lot of people are now underwater. A lot of this volume was transacted at 5988, and then we have all this low volume area. Now even the SPY, okay, so the Qs are now officially in the red from that report, and the SPY is testing this green to red move, so maybe a bit there, but I mean, we're just seeing semiconductors puke. Semis are bringing down the whole market right now. Semis are bringing down the whole market. I'm very hesitant to chase this to the downside, and that's for a couple reasons. So reason number one is shorting at the low of the day is generally dangerous just because you're chancing, like literally bottom ticking it, but in the wrong direction. So the same reason you wouldn't want to be buying at the high of the day, you wouldn't want to be shorting at the low of the day. So that's dangerous. It's a different story if there's like a bit of a pullback. So instead of chasing it now, obviously you had this breakdown opportunity at 10:03 with this recent risk. So it's just like more of a risk management thing is you don't want to be chasing. You don't want to short at the low of the day. You don't want to buy at the high of the day. So that's one thing you got to consider. The other thing you have to consider is the fact that, dude, is this going to keep fucking going? How much does this have in it to the downside? Jesus. This is getting real clocked real quick. Real clocked real quick. We're now at a 2 standard deviation move to the downside. Yeah, we're just seeing a bunch of sellers step in right now. Look at that. Mag 7 vomit, SPY vomit. I can't bring myself to chase it. I don't think that is wise by any means to chase to the downside. If anything, I'd be looking for more of a mean reverting dip buy where your risk is the recent low, because that's a minimal risk type of a trade. Chasing is just generally not good. That signal that I told you was going to fire is actually going to now fire. A bullish signal is going to fire if we bounce enough here. That signal that was like gearing up before, it's now just going to fire at a much lower price. Interesting. Do I take this trade? Do I have the balls to try to catch this falling knife? Do I have the balls to try to catch this falling knife? Oh, I got to decide quick. It's about to fire. Fuck it. Did it.
Order filled.
All right, we're going to see. We're going to see if catching this falling knife was the right or the wrong move, but I just put it in. Obviously, the risk is literally just this recent low. Maybe I get lucky and I can ride it all the way back up. But it's more of, I don't know how it's going to play out. I think this is like probably a very good teaching opportunity. I don't know if we're going to keep going. I don't know. All I know is I have well-defined risk, and my well-defined reward is a multiple of that risk. As in, if I do these type of trades time and time and time and time again, I'll be net ahead. I don't know how this individual one is going to play out. I'm feeling the bullish side a little bit because it does seem like an overreaction in the semiconductor space, but I don't know how it's going to go. We might drop another $1 or $2 in the SPY, maybe 10, 20 points, and then maybe we bounce. Maybe we don't bounce at all. Coming into it, I knew that the bulls were in control because of, the option chain. They had a lot of control in the option chain, and I know we're right now just dipping into a transition area, so I'm hoping that support is found in that transition area. We're going to see. We're going to see. All I can tell you is every single trade, it's a battle of risk management. I have well-defined risk. And let me show you what's going on. Why is the screen not popping up for you folks? Why is the screen not popping up for you folks? Is this working? Can you guys see this? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, you could see I am long too. I bought one on the dip that you heard, and I was in one before when it was first at VWAP. Why is the trades not showing up? But I got here long at 10.09. So this was my second buy. My first buy was on the VWAP test. So now I'm back to being break even. And actually, you could argue that I'm taking on too much risk. So I'm going to close one out. Oop, hang on. I'm going to give it a second. I only want to carry one contract. I doubled down to increase my chances of getting back to break even. And I don't necessarily want to carry this risk. So I'm going to close one of these out. I would have done that on this. I want to kind of just dump it at VWAP. And it is not, we're actually seeing a straight up VWAP rejection. That is not good for me. That is not good for me in the slightest, actually.
Order submitted.
All right. Like I said, I'm long too. I just did it for my average price management, so I wasn't so far away. And I want to just dump out one because I just feel more comfortable carrying one contract rather than two, just because right now I don't have enough buffer in these accounts to be swinging that kind of size. So I am trying to dump one just at VWAP right here. That's that white dash line, the volume weighted average price. This is where the average participant is in the market on the futures market from market open last night at 6 p.m. till now, not at the New York session. Come on, a little bit of a pop here. A little bit of a pop here. Why is this? Oh, that's why. one of these screens. Okay, there we go. Now I'm back to my normal screen. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Meta's still showing strength. Semiconductor is getting clapped. I just needed a little bit more of a push. So the Qs and the SPY both got pushed to being red, and now they fought back green. Let's see if they can hold. The Mag 7, it's not popping, but it is at least flat now. And same thing with the SPY. It vomited, had a mean reverting, pop back up, and now we're flat. We're basically just waiting for the next leg. Oh, brother. 10-minute is bearish. No, here, let's go to the 5-minute. 5-minute is bearish, 10-minute is bearish, 30-minute is bullish, 4 hours bullish on the S&P 500. 5-minute, 10-minute are both bearish on the NASDAQ. The 30-minute was, but then seemingly saved itself right here. The 30-minute did puke, but now back in that bullish territory, so is the 4 hours. So the smaller time frames, the 5 and the 10, are telling us more of a bearish story, while the medium time frames, the 30-minute and the 4 hour, are telling us more of a bullish story. That's the daily chart. We don't necessarily need that right now. What I want to point out is more so that we dipped into the transition zone with key technical and psychological levels, and now we're out. If we can hold 5975, that's awesome. That means we dipped, we came down to some point of equilibrium, and then we have that opportunity to come back up not only to yesterday's high, but additionally to the main volume transaction point of the day at 5988. And then from there, obviously, I'm watching 6,000. But what I'm trying to do, it almost let me out. Right now, I have 2 ES contracts. I am trying to dump one of them. I am attempting to dump one of them just to minimize my risk. I do think there is a good chance of a bounce back here, but just on the off chance that I'm wrong, I have to care about my downside risk management, which is exactly why I've been waiting to do exactly that. So I just dumped one. My realized gain on the, well, now it's weird because of the I don't know. The far right column is the important column. Technically, I have a realized gain of 287, unrealized of 3. All you have to do is focus on this one over here. Oh, and also to clarify, as you can see, I am trading on 30 accounts. I have 20 Apex and 10 take profit. All the Apex accounts are funded. 5 of the take profits are evals. 5 of them are funded. And where am I at right now? So 1,200. 1,200, 20, 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, 91,013. Okay, I believe that's my max profit that I could go for. And I really don't want to risk losing any of this money. So let's move my stop at least up to the intraday low. All right, so risk management, that's why I dumped one of my contracts. More risk management by moving my stop up to the low. And in reality, I'm actually really thinking about moving it up to 82. I just might give it a quick second to see how it behaves to VWAP here. I'm looking for that. But is that smart? Maybe that's not smart. Because if it does break VWAP, I should probably be getting the fuck out anyway. So maybe I just take on this risk of like, no, like it's holding VWAP. So maybe the smart move really is to move my stop all the way to up here. Maybe that is the smart move. But if I do that, okay, so that would be guaranteeing at least up 300 on the day. Or I could just take the 750 now and call it a day because it's been like a bit of a strange day. A bit of a strange day. Or, as I should just lit the math and the signals. I did take that signal. 87. It's actually calling for me to move my stop up even more. It's basically calling for it to move it up to VWAP. Do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? Potential rejection here, but what if it just taps 75? That's 3 points below where we are right now. Oh man, it's getting dangerously close. I really need this VWAP to hold. I need it to hold. Okay, Mag 7 not looking the best. Even the SPY, the Delta is starting to turn a bit to the downside. Meta's looking good. Meta's looking phenomenal, actually. Semiconductors are now getting... Dude, Tesla's getting murked. Tesla is getting murked. How's small cap looking? Small cap got hit, potentially bouncing back a little bit here. Dude, these fucking reports, man. As of now, they've stymied what could have been a really, really good day. Come on. I'm looking for this trend line breakout on the SPY, this downsloping trend line, and then also on the Qs. Mag 7 looks a little sickly. So does the NASDAQ. So does the SPY. I'm not loving the options flow. Calls are now flat. People were buying puts, but they got out of those puts. The delta flow, if anything, is actually now kind of flat. It's indecisive. It doesn't know what to do. Let me check one more tool for you folks where I could just see where the big players are. Okay, to the upside, the target is 6,000. To the downside, it's 5,950. So as of now, it looks like we might be in that 50-point region as of like obviously this exact moment. Another tool I have is saying same thing to the top side, 6,000, but to the bottom side, it's a bit lower. It's more like 5,925. So that one's a bit wider in its prediction. A bit wider. Huh. Well, I'm hoping for a gigantic recovery, obviously, hence why I'm in this play. And then did I do my math right? I did not. I did not account for commissions. Okay, cool. That's my max target. I'm really contemplating moving my stop up to this recent low just because not only is it a recent low and that breaks down, then we have lower highs, lower lows, but also it's a snap of VWAP. After it's kind of a failure. Like we came up to VWAP, we got rejected. We came up, we got rejected. We came up, fake out, breakdown, retested. And now it's suggesting that it holds. But if this fails, that's just not a good sign. I'm really thinking about moving this up. I mean, instead of, I'm just currently using this low. It would, why can't, this would make my life so much easier if we just break out and ran. Break out and run. Rip through 92.50, shoot all the way up to my target. And then after that, I don't really give a shit. Or the other option is literally just to take all my money, take my $21,000, my $24,000 and just move on with my life. Oh, do I want to take my 20 grand? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Decisions. This is exactly what the card was predicting. I need a bit of temperance in my life, folks. A bit of temperance. What would you guys do? Would you guys leave the stop here and leave the profit target here? Would you move your stop up and just play it a bit tighter and still try to go for the profit? Or would you just take all the money and move on? Would you just take all the money and move on? I hope. Turn on the translucent candles. That's probably what I really need. And really, we're just range bound right now. The market doesn't know which way it wants to go, which is we're not only seeing that in price right here. The SPY is getting pegged to its high from yesterday, but we're just range bound. So who knows which way that range is going to break? And we're also seeing that exactly in the options market, which is literally just going sideways. So we're seeing a lot of the same indecisiveness across the board. A lot of the same baloney. A lot. Oh, where are we on this? We're still at this VWAP level. Oh, it's going to be luck today, as it is always every day. It's just more of, can I make the right risk management decisions? Can I make the right risk management decisions? Oh, what other data do we have? What can I base this off of? I don't know, Tonto. This is getting close. I don't know, Tonto. It's getting awfully close. We're right at that trend line, potentially getting rejected. Potentially getting rejected. all right, I decided to guarantee myself a bit more money and I moved my stop up to this recent low. So I might get lucky with a VWAP bounce. I'm giving myself a chance, even though it's a small chance. I'm giving myself a chance of just in case buyers step in at VWAP. But if it starts to break down and it takes out this low from 1017, 1018, I'm out, and I'm at least guaranteeing myself $500 on the day will be like the net situation. So I'm taking a bit of a risk. Granted, I could get out now for $700, so I'm taking a $200 risk relative to my unrealized gains for the chance of, okay, maybe it does save itself and then it rips all the way up, which I think that's a smart in between of, like, whenever you're going for reward, you have to take risk. Whenever you're taking risk, if it's appropriate risk, you're going for a reasonable reward. So I am risking $200 of unrealized gains because it's going to dip more and I could get out now. But I'm giving my chance of maybe people react to this VWAP line. Maybe we get the trend line breakout and maybe we pop. So I don't know what the next bar is going to be. I can't predict it. No one in this world can. It's just, if buyers decide to step in, I have skin in the game. If sellers decide to step in, well, I'm at least protecting myself, giving myself like a fighting shot here. But regardless, the situation will end with me making just below $500 in the worst case scenario. And on 30 accounts, that's $15K. So like, I think that's a good paradigm. It's like, okay, you're guaranteeing some money. You just don't know like how much money it's going to be. So it comes down to risk management. I am hopeful that this hits, but I'm obviously, you just hope for the best, prepare for the worst. And really the emphasis is on the latter of prepare for the worst. And that's what my stop management is. That is what my stop management is. Why are you not paying attention to APLD at this point? Because no one's fucking heard of it. Some random ass stock. That's why. I don't know. Basically, I'm taking this 50. Like, there's so much money and so much opportunity in like stocks that people actually know about. Why would I be paying? What the fuck is APLD? APLD, Applied Digital Corp. You want me to care about a stock that's already up 20% in one day? It's a $12 stock. How much is its market cap? $2.77 billion. It's actually not as small as I thought it would be. Obviously, it's up 20% today, so it's about a $2 billion company. I don't know. We're busy focusing on multi-trillion-dollar companies like Apple and Nvidia. It's just small, and like it. I don't. There's, in my opinion, there's better opportunity in the market, and we all have limited supplies of capital, so you have to distribute your capital to where you think you have the best opportunity. But what's the point of like you're chasing? It's up 20%. Why would you ever chase something that you missed the boat? The boat's gone. If you're in it, congrats. But it's up 20%. What are you doing, dude? That's like, you're just trying to get other people to chase, or you're trying to talk yourself into chasing. But we all know that you shouldn't be chasing like that. Like, why would you do that? If you're in it, that's a different story. Ride the trend. But to buy something that's already up 20%, you're by definition buying at a premium cost. Relative to yesterday to today, you're paying 20% more. You would hate that in any other aspect of your life. Why would you do that now? If you bought an airplane ticket yesterday or looking at it and then bought it today and it was 20% more, if it went from 500 to 600, you'd be pissed off. You wouldn't be stoked saying, yeah, I got to do that. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, if you're in it, ride it. Congrats to you. Speaking of that, I'm moving my stop up even more. Yeah, so now I'm guaranteeing at least 500. Wait a second. I'm wondering if ES is going to have an issue. APLD made two 15-year contracts with NVIDIA worth $7 billion, if I remember correctly. That's awesome. But you should have been in it before the announcement, not after. He's so full of himself, LOL. How is that full of myself? Bruce, please explain. In which way is that full of myself, of just giving very evident, like obvious advice when it comes to trading. Don't chase. And there you are crying like a fucking baby just because I'm not going to talk about the thing that you want me to talk about. That's literally sound trading advice. And you're like, no, that's full of himself. This is what's so fascinating is there's people who are like that silly who are in the market like that. It doesn't make sense. Don't chase, folks. That's a good rule. If you think you're chasing, you're most likely chasing. You're just, by definition, you're simply taking on too much risk. You want to get in when things are cheap and you want to get out when they're expensive. You don't necessarily want to get in when they're expensive and bet on the chance that they then become more expensive. It's just a game of risk management. You have to ask yourself, how far away is the risk? And most likely it's too far when it's already gone up double-digit numbers in such a short period of time. You're literally just taking on too much risk. Well, we got the trend line breakout on the SPY. Let's see if the Qs can hold. There's the Qs testing this downsloping trend, and we're looking for the battle of yesterday's high. I'm seeing a nice continuation on Meta. I'm seeing a decent recovery in the small cap sector. Unfortunately, semis are having an issue. Broadcom is not bouncing with it. It's going flat. NVIDIA is bouncing out of its low of the day. Tesla's getting creamed. MSTR is getting creamed. Coin isn't doing anything. Palantir is getting destroyed today. NVIDIA, I would like semiconductors to actually get going here, but Meta is the belle of the ball, up 2.6%. How much is my Meta position? What are we looking at with Meta? A nice 156%, up about 31,000 on Meta. And then on Broadcom, I'm up about 32. So I could dump those two right now and just take 60K and be done with it. I've been in these positions for a minute. I've been in it for since the 22nd. I've been in it for almost 2 full weeks. That's not bad. A 60K return for 2 weeks of just sitting there. Matt, what do you think the earnings for Broadcom will look like? How would I know that? What the fuck? How would I know that? Your alerts are a little loud. Can you turn them down a bit? Also just made 600 on your XPX spread. Thanks, man. I don't know how do you turn the volume down? Is there a settings thing over here in the? Does anyone know on TradingView how to turn the volume down? Does anyone know profile settings? Nope, that's not right. Here, I'm going to try it on this screen. Profile setting. I would assume it's somewhere in your profile settings. That makes sense. Ideas, account and billing notifications. Turn on, is there sound management? Turn on notification sound. I don't see a volume control for it. I'm seeing that I could turn it like up, or I could either have them on or off as a binary thing, but I am not seeing a volume control, unfortunately. So I guess the answer is no. You have to, the left down button on your phone. What does that mean? He's just so full of himself to realize anything outside of his egotistical mindset. LOL. Nothing like stupid commentary from the internet. Bruce Wayne, you're so right. You're so right. I should just be promoting stocks that are already ripping so you can make more money. Man, I never thought about it that way, but you've changed my mind. Bruce, I think you are 100% right and definitely not a gigantic fucking pussy. I just never thought about it like that. He's such a baby. He's such a baby. Oh, man. Maybe, Bruce, if you ever did anything with your life, instead, You're some fucking crusty dude living in your mom's basement naming your YouTube account off of a cartoon character. But hey, maybe that'll work for you. Maybe it will. He lives in a cave. He sure does. He sure does. He sure does. How's it, Russell? Russell's not recovering as much. I'd love for Broadcom to pick up. Apple, Microsoft might be picking back up. Nvidia's trying to fight back. Tesla's still getting murked. So's MSTR. Palantir's getting a bit of a bounce now. ASML, Netflix, Rum. Hey, Bruce, question. Have you ever, you use sarcastic humor to mask your insecurities? Bruce, have you ever considered the fact that I'm just better than you? Potentially, in like all measurable aspects. Has that like crossed your mind ever? Do you think that maybe you literally masking your identity with a cartoon name and lobbing comments on the internet that like no one cares about, if anything, is a reflection of your insecurities? And then it's worse when you just realize that by like all measurable things in this world, I have outpaced you. All measurable things. I think maybe you should pontificate upon that, you know, ponder that one, like just like really sit in it, you know? Dominic's like, temperance, dude. You know, you're right. Temperance is the way. I shouldn't get angry that there's such stupid people like Bruce in this world. Some people hit the genetic lottery. Other people hit the exact opposite. And if anything, they're like a charity case. We should care for them. I mean, is it Bruce's fault that his mom drank when she was pregnant with him? Is it? It's not really his fault that he had a playground accident when he was young and that forever damaged his brain, so he's not capable of neurotypical thought or communication. That's not his fault. If anything, as a sound society, we should care for our weakest. Even if it is a grown man cosplaying as a cartoon, I think we should overlook the fact that he's an incel and we should care for them. I think we should. That's the sign of a developed society, is like, we care for the most disenfranchised. I think that's the appropriate thing to do. We don't want to be like the Spartans and just toss them away. That'd be crazy. That's not what a just society would do. She didn't drink enough. Oh, man. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. All right, I'm moving my stop up even more. All right, so that's another 500. So no matter what, it's 750 to 800 guaranteed. I'm just going to keep moving my stop up and pray that this trend continues until the point that I hit my max target. He's the abortion that got away. Could be. Could be. Oh, it happens, folks. You shouldn't point and laugh. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, back to all being bullish. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, all back to being bullish. So that's looking pretty freaking good, actually. Let's see if it can actually hold now. Let me go to this. We dropped right into the called out transition zone, and guess where we're battling it out now? Not only at the key consolidation, but you know it's a key consolidation because that's where most trades have transacted today, is right at this node. This is just a little volume profile. The reason I have it up now and I haven't recently is just I've been working on some strategy development related to volume profiles. So I kind of just wanted some like anecdotal evidence to see how things are playing out. So that's what this is. It's just a volume profile. You can see trades being met on the bid, trades being met on the ask, the bid and the offer, whatever you want to call it. But more so, I care about at what price most volumes transacted. And you can see right here, we traded right up to that exact level. And now we're having a bit of an issue. A wee bit of an issue. I truly believe if this is taken out, if market participants decide to, hey, what is this dip point? 80. 2 more points. Oh, I'm going to be cutting close. Here's this low vol area. We might get a bounce in here, but it'll be interesting to see if we could take this out, because if we can, I think it really is increasing the likelihood of us examining 6,000 today. Unfortunately, I might not be on that particular trip. I might not be on that trip. It's coming for me. It's coming for me. Tag me.
Order canceled.
All right. I made $775 per account on 30 accounts. So that's about 20 grand, a little bit over 20 grand. Not a bad day. Not a bad day whatsoever. I will take it. And in fact, I don't know should I shut it down or should I just wait? Because maybe a little bit later on in the day, there's going to be another opportunity. I'll wait. Knowing my luck, it just tagged me out and it's going to rip from there. But hey, nonetheless, you have to protect your downside, because you never know if this rejection is going to lead to a legit sell-off. So just on that off chance, I do believe this ends up creating a higher low just based on how things are going. We have the Qs running into some issues at the high from yesterday, maybe potentially bouncing off the trend line. We might be finding support on the SPY here at its high from yesterday, or maybe its trend line. So I'll just wait. Obviously, I wouldn't just arbitrarily go in without a signal actually firing. But I wouldn't mind a little bit of a pullback just for a better fill. But watch the 5 and the 10. I care a lot more about the 10 and the 30 on both ES and NQ. I see both of those 10s are testing right now, more so of the NQ. So I'm paying close attention to this to see if it could stay on the north side of the momentum. Speaking of momentum, the Mag 7's momentum is clearly down. People are not happy with semis right now, but starting at 1036, we got an additional sell-off. The SPY is more flat. The SPY was up briefly, then it took a hit, and now it's like, if you had a linear regression line, it would be up, but it's pretty jagged. So just patience. Patience. Liquidity exit. What the hell is a liquidity exit? What does that mean? VMAR, please share with the class. What is a liquidity exit? And how does that differ from a normal exit or a non-liquidity exit? What does that mean? What in the world is... I feel like people just hear these terms in the market and they're like, hell yeah, dude. Like, what does that mean, a liquidity exit? That's when you piss on a girl and she runs out of the room. Oh. And you trade off of that? Same as undecided candles. Yeah, all these undecided candles and liquidity exits. An exit with liquids. People just they love to hear whatever terms in the market. And they're like, hell yeah. Liquidity exit happens every morning after my coffee. It's so fascinating to me that there is this thing in the retail trading world where they just mush together all these different terms and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, what the fuck is a liquidity exit? We all get what exits are and we all get what liquidity is, but how in the world would liquidity is just how deep is a product, how filled out is the book. You're pairing it together with something that inherently doesn't make sense. Like, one is based on volume and depth of book, depth of market, the DOM. The other one is literally an action you could take in the market. How are you putting those two things together? It's a trading idea. I tried translucent candle trading yesterday. I had my worst day all year. Well, you probably didn't do it right. Liquidity exits into my dark pool. It's like a Diddy exit. Oh, I see what you're saying there. It's like an Epstein exit. Oh, I'm learning so much from you guys today. I'm learning so. Do you mean dark pool liquidity exit? Dark pools are very deep and have lots of liquid. Now that's proven. A liquidity exit. Man, sometimes I wonder if I learn more from you guys than you learn from me. Fascinating. Typically, big positions are liquidated. What? By definition, smaller positions would be more commonly liquidated than large positions because they're smaller, so you would need less trades to liquidate them. What? Literally, that the opposite is true. It is more likely that smaller positions are liquidated because you need less trades to get out of a small position than you do a big position. Typically, big positions are liquidated. What the fuck? What are we smoking today? Like, by definition, it is easier to get someone to close out a smaller position because it takes less of those trades at that particular price than a large position. It is scary what some people trade on. What happens when a position gets gassed? That's going to be tomorrow's show. That's 100% going to be tomorrow's show. Oh, well, all right. Hopefully the SPY can catch a bid here at the high or at this trend line and we could bounce off of it, putting in a nice higher low. But in reality, we're kind of just getting this consolidation. I don't know if this is the low, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. This would be our structure, but it depends where this low is actually going to be set up. So you could try to watch this structure, but it's a suspect structure to say the least. 93. I actually do like that entry. Or on NQ above 740, even better above 760. Did you break my concentration? No, I'm not in a position. I didn't really have to concentrate on anything. The Russell's puking, really? I think we might be talking about, I'm talking about the stock. You might be talking about your buddy who had a late night last night. Oh, we just have to wait. The Mag 7 may be bottoming here. The SPY is actually taking a hit. Here, what other information can I give you guys? Bottom seems to be putting in at 59.50, and it looks like a ceiling's being put in at 6,010 on this one tool. Let me check a different tool. 59.50, and then this one's showing 6,000. Okay, so it does seem as if we're up here. There are some ceiling bets being put in, and then down here there are some floor bets being put in. So good chance that we're somewhere in this about 60-ish point range between now and the end of the day. Between now and the end of the day, are we going to dip out of this? Or are we just going to... Man, we started off the day attempting to get out of the transition zone. We puked into it. We bounced out of it, got rejected where our consolidation was. And now it seems as if we're kind of getting sucked back into it. It might offer support for us to get out of it. But if it does, you don't want the options market to look like this. The SPY is puking calls and buying puts. So we're removing positive delta and adding negative delta. That's not exactly what you want to see. That is not exactly what you would like to be seeing by any means. A minute. Oh, brother, 94. Do I want to be done and just take my money? We are up a good grip of dinero right now. A good grip of dinero. How much do I like this trade? Decisions. Do I think we actually get this VWAP bounce? Mag 7, SPY, maybe bottoming, maybe with a capital maybe on that one. SPY seemingly trying to hold the high from yesterday. The Qs are in between the high and the close from yesterday. Meta is giving some of it back. Broadcom is flat. Apple still giving it back, Microsoft giving it back, Nvidia flat, Tesla flat, MSTR trying to catch a bid back to the upside, coin. All right, I'll take one final stab
Order
at this.
submitted.
One final stab. Hopefully I'm not part of that liquidity thing that I've been told so much about. Oh, I just took this long, this VWAP. I probably should have got in earlier at 10:47 here just because I would have had less risk, but whatever. I'm playing with the casino's money at this point. I'm playing with the casino's money at this point. We will go for, how many points do I want to go for on this one? How many points do I want to go for? I'm in at 93. So that means that would be 500. Maybe I just go for 10 points. It's not so bad. VWAP bounce. Really, my goal, as always, is not really so much to focus on this. I just want to see if I can get my my stop to break even as soon as humanly possible. Maybe I use a VWAP. Maybe I even shave 2 points off here, save myself another $100. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Really, it's kind of, you see how the EMAs are going flat? I mean, I'm attempting to see if it can catch itself. Once again, I'm bullishly biased just because of the overall option structure. But of course, I mean, it could still break down at any moment, which is why I'm protecting my downside. But the fact that the 10-minute went down and tried to come back up, 86. The other side, see, tech is still weak. See how close all these EMA lines are? Tech is having a tough time. The 30 minutes bullish, another thing that's painting my bias. But it's just more of, how do I want to handle it? Do I want to not have such an aggressive stop and I can walk away and just come back at the end of the day and see if my target's hit? Or do I want to do a little bit more of active management here? A little bit more decisions. What time is it? Obviously an important thing to consider. We're pretty much at VWAP on ES. Where are we at on NQ? We're also, okay, so we're at VWAP on both ES and on NQ. So the average trader right now from market open last night to this very moment is break even. As in, what VWAP is telling us is the exact same thing that the EMAs are telling us, no trend, which is now becoming the exact same thing options are telling us of just sideways bullshit. Not on an intraday basis. By the time you get to the 4 hour and the daily, it's a little bit more obvious that the bulls are in control by the time you look at the technicals, the options flow, the option structure. But in the shorter time frame, when you're looking at the 3 minute, the 5 minute, and the 10 minute, no one's like, it's not going anywhere. That's a ballsy move there, Matt. Maybe if it had gotten in a VWAP, you'll need to get lucky to hit a profit target. No, it's not ballsy. It's literally math. It's as ballsy as it's no different than my other trades. It's a signal-based trade. I know the odds of how it works on any individual basis, and I know in the long run, as long as I'm good at my risk management, it will be net profitable. It's not more or less ball. It's just math. I don't know. It's no particular prediction on this situation. Of course, I'm hopeful that it goes up. But in reality, it's the same math as it always is on any individual data point. It's not more or less ballsy than that. It's just, do you have good risk management and do you have an edge in the market? Mullen is up 150%. Are they doing like another dilution or some bullshit like that? Reverse stock, yeah. It is another 100 for one reverse. They're just doing this so they don't get delisted. If you are buying Mullen, you're actually a dumb fucking person. It's actually so bad that they're calling the 1 year, the year to date, and the 6 month all down 100%. They don't have enough decimals to even give you the rounding of 99.99999999999. If you are chasing this on Mullen, you're a fucking idiot. This is one of, I don't know how it's still legal that this company is trading. Like, if this is something that's enticing you and you're like, oh, I got to get in this, you're either new to the market, and I feel bad for you because you're going to get trapped. But if you've been around the market a little bit and you're chasing this, you're a fucking stupid person. Like, you are a dumb person. Look how 100%, in the past 3 months, 99.92, past month, 50%. Look at this chart. They had to do so many reverse stock splits that adjusted. What is this? 700, million, billion, trillion. There's so many reverse stock splits that we actually are seeing numbers at 700 trillion. Obviously never traded there. That's just what happens when you have 100 for one reverse stock split, 100 for one reverse stock split, 60 for one, 100 for one, 100 for one. It's just all these reverse stock splits, but that by the time you like adjust it accordingly, you get these absurd numbers. Like, I don't do what you want, but like I said, if you're chasing that, that's fucking dumb. Bruce is a majority shareholder in Mullen. I wouldn't be surprised. Based on our commentary with Bruce this morning and how he engages with the market, I would not be surprised if he is holding some deep bags on Mullen right now. Next, he's like, dude, it's up, and it's egotistical that you're not in it. It's your ego. How are you not in that right now, Matthew? It's just your ego that is stopping you from getting in Mullen. Or yeah, it also just might be basic knowledge of numbers going up and down. Fascinatingly, could also be that. All right, 5 minute trying to save itself. 10 minute, once again, wick down, attempting to save itself. This is not a strategy I'm currently trading, but an EMA save and then breaking the previous bar's high is actually a pretty decent signal. Of course, you could add a couple other filters on here and there to make it a stronger signal. But way back in the day, one of my first strategies related to an EMA bounce dip buy, and it was actually pretty good. Like I said, you might want to add a couple other filters on. You might want to be looking at options flow. You might want to use a MACD crossover. You might want to use this, that, the other thing, a little bit of your secret sauce. But once again, an EMA bounce dip buy, which would be defined by obviously dipping into the EMA, breaking out of the previous high. That out of the box is not amazing, but you can work with that for sure. So a break of 5994 would be interesting. And you could actually, well, hang on in real time. That's happening on NQ right now. But to be a bit more confident, you might want to wait for the other high. But technically, we just made a valley right here, this 3-bar valley setup. But watch 21759. Oh. Yeah, maybe we just have a higher low. Maybe. We'll find out. He's not so smart outside of the market. Bruce. What? I've heard some disgusting things in my day, but the fact that you are so factually wrong on this, Bruce, he's not so smart outside of the market. I'm not even smart inside of the market. What are you fucking smoking? APLD will be discussed in this chat in about 6 months to a year. I want all of you to hold him accountable for what he has said earlier. What, that your mom drank too much when she was pregnant with you? Bruce, surprise, surprise. This is a degenerate trading channel. You think we're talking about investments a year out? What? Know your audience, dude. You think this daily degenerate trading channel we're interested in? No. Here's a fundamental breakdown of where this thing might go in a year. Man, some people, they just don't have the ability. From a social perspective, they just don't have any second order thinking, like at all. Sarcasm. Yeah, it's my coping mechanism when I have to deal with people that have fucking such smooth brains. Screenshotted it, added it to my Google Calendar. Thank you. Yeah. Remind me in 6 months to a year, as long as Bruce's stupidity doesn't kill me by then, and we'll check it back out. Are we talking to Bruce Lee? We wish we were talking to Bruce Lee. We fucking wish. All right, my trade is back to break even right now. Back to the old break even. Back to the old break even. The Bruce Wayne show featuring Matt. Yeah. I do take all my financial advice from an incel who cosplays as a cartoon character. That's what people don't know this, but that's actually how Warren Buffett pulled it off too. A lot of people thought he had an intimate knowledge of the market and just quantitative breakdowns, qualitative breakdowns, understanding trends of society and history. It wasn't. He actually just talked to fucking incels who thought they were cartoon heroes. That's what you do in Nebraska. When you're the Oracle of Omaha, a lot of people thought it was some sort of like genius information related to the markets, and it wasn't. He just called up a guy who like legitimately thought he was Superman. And he's like, hey, how do you think this is going to go? Just secrets of the market. Crazy how that works. What about furries? Yeah, he also talked to furries. That's more for Forex trading though. Warren was the king of liquidity exit. All these liquidity exits. Oh, geez. Warren Buffett is Bruce Wayne. He might be. He's agile for 80. All this exit liquidity. All right. We're going to move the stop up there. We're moving the stop up. We're doing some reasonable protective movements. That's the mathematical highest I could go, but I really wouldn't mind taking some profits at 603 because that'd be about 12 to 1300 per account. Or do I just call it? Am I overstaying my welcome? I feel like I have traded a little bit too much. We are looking for this trend line breakout. The NASDAQ did get its trend line breakout. Both the SPY and the Qs are now on top of their high. Fun fact for you guys is there's now a 77% chance that we close above 59609 and above 52730. So there is basically a 4 out of 5 chance that we do close above the previous closing value. That might be true to a cent. It might be true to multiple dollars. But I'm just saying when you break the previous day's high, there's about a 77, 78% chance based on the last 6 months to 5 years worth of data that as soon as you break the high, you can then say with about an 80% accuracy, a little bit less, that you will close somewhere above the previous close. That's true for both the SPY and the Qs. And then also the opposite is true when you break down, you have about a 75 to 80% chance of closing below the previous day's close. So from a statistical standpoint, when you break the previous high or the previous low, that is telling in terms of odds of where we might be going that particular day. Okay, IWM is doing nothing. You guys got me all excited in chat. And then Apple's picking up, Microsoft's picking up, Nvidia's coming back, Tesla's coming back a little bit, MSTR had a nice swing back up. Okay, Mag 7 is catching a bid, SPY is also catching a bid. That is exactly what I needed for my position. Okay, if I move my stop up here, I'm only taking on a 4-point risk, which is $200. Which means I would still be up about 500 on the day. Do I want to move my risk up now? Maybe I'll put it right below VWAP. Just trying to mitigate my risk here, team. Well, I'm still thinking there's a pretty reasonable shot that we test 6,000 today. That's kind of my base bull case of the day. So that's what I'm kind of looking for, and hopefully that ends up coming to fruition. Obviously, I'll be getting out earlier. Remember, 6,000 on ES is different than 6,000 on SPX. I should be able to hit this target before SPX hits 6,000. They are not perfectly aligned in their nominal value. So I just, for example, if right here, you have ES trading at 5,995, while SPX is trading at 5,986. So right now they're off about by 9 points. So once again, they're off by about 9 points. I'm trying to take my profits right before that level, right before. So if you adjust it, 6,000 is roughly 6,009 on ES, and my target is here at 607.5. So it's not a perfect like sliding correlation. Sometimes there are some adjustment issues, and that happens from the contract rolls every quarter, which we actually are in the month that it's going to roll. So I just want to explain a little bit about why, even though I'm looking at 6,000 here, my profit target's a little bit higher. But when you do like the backwards conversion, it's roughly the same thing. And if anything, I'm front running it a little bit just because I do believe on this first test, there's going to be a rejection. Now, if we do get the breakout, maybe at some point this afternoon, I'd be then looking at 6,030. There's quite a few sold calls there. So that would be the next interesting positive gamma node. But first, we are still very much struggling at the major volume point of the day at 5,987. So I want to see this get taken out, which also is aligning with this trend line breakout here on SPY. The Qs already got it. The Qs were the weaker index this morning, showing a bit of strength. Would love the follow through there. Love for Broadcom to wake back up. Would love it. Would love it. Would love it. Would love it. Well, anywho, folks, before I let you go, don't forget to sign up for Take Profit Trader if you want to trade with someone else's money. I use Apex. I use Take Profit Trader for futures. I use Vanquish for options. But anyway, you can see right here the money that I'm trading with. Take Profit is the best deal. I have 20 funded Apex accounts, 5 funded Take Profit accounts, and 5 eval Take Profit accounts. But right now, if you were to buy one today, this is the best financial offer, 30% off and no activation fee. Don't forget to use that code Goonie. Trendline snap, volume node rejection. We're here for the battle. I guess we are in for a battle. Later on today, just because I have a live position and I attempt to try to be as transparent as I possibly can, because I have a live position right now, I'll just post a picture of this later today and let you guys know how it ends. But if I do well and if I'm being disciplined, this should be the last trade for me of the day. Hopefully I am not overstaying my welcome. It would just be nice to get...
Connection lost.
Well, fuck. That's probably not good. There's no way that could be a good sign when you're losing your connection. So we're gonna have to. That's, just one of those. Gonna be one of those days. Anyway, shout out to all of you guys, minus Bruce. Shout out to Take Profit Trader. I hope you guys make a shitload of money. We're gonna be posting an update video later on today, and then we're gonna be streaming once again tomorrow morning. Please respect your risk. Please stick to your trading plan and don't chase at highs. Don't short at lows. Just be smart. You know when you're taking on too much risk. That's what I have for you. Like I said, I hope you make a shitload of money. Shout out to Take Profit Trader. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.